Zombie apocalypse.
What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. This is 6th Scale Economist. In today's video, we're actually going to be switching it up a bit. We're not going to be talking about a hot toy or a 6th scale figure at all. We're actually going to be talking about a statue today. We'll be talking about the Joker, from the Joker solo movie done by Prime 1 Studio and Blitzway. So this is actually a 1/3 scale statue. While I don't, typically record too much about statues and actually don't have any statues in my collection, man, I've been looking at this statue a lot and watching a lot of reviews, and it's just something that I wanted to talk about because it's something that I'm very interested in. So, obviously this is like Joker as portrayed by Joaquin Phoenix. This movie is absolutely fantastic. It's, one of my top 5 favorite movies of all time. Just thought like the acting was like unparalleled. The story was great. It was, just perfectly dark enough to really capture Joker in his, most unique light. And so when I initially saw the images for this item, I was very interested, and now that I'm losing hope that we're going to get a 1/6 scale figure from Hot Toys, just given like the dynamic that this movie had, and like maybe some brands don't want to be associated with this movie, I'm really leaning towards maybe picking up this statue. Obviously the price tag of $12.99 is very steep, but I do recognize how amazing this piece is. So let's just jump right into it and just talk about this one. So obviously, if you do like the early bird, which I think you still have about a week and a half left, you do get like this bonus mask that he wears. I probably won't pick it up for the early bonus. That's not like a huge bonus for me, and given how much this figure costs, like from the absolute value, like I don't think I need to pre-order it just to pick up this mask. I think I still want to keep waiting and figure out my decision. Like everything about this statue is fantastic. The accessories that he comes with are great. You get like his book that he write, his like diary from his like therapy, which is like so awesome. Obviously you get the gun, the flowers, a rat, and photos of his mom and of Bruce Wayne's father, and then his card talking about his like laughing condition. You get like the you get the sign that like gets broken in half in like the first one of the first images of the movie. Like obviously you get the staircase that he does that like awesome like dancing thing with his hands, which is just great. So it's such a great base too for this figure. But like this right here, this is why it costs $1,300. When I saw this head sculpt, I was like, oh my gosh, I actually might pick up my first statue. This head sculpt is insane. I mean, the details are just unbelievable. See if we can get a close-up shot of that face. Like, everything about it, like, the paint is fantastic. The hair looks great. How you can, like, tell that it's, like, dyed by himself. Like, he just, like, put the dye in himself. The teeth look great. The eyes. Everything about it is just screams Joaquin Phoenix from the movie. The shoes, I also love how the statue, it comes with cloth as opposed to like sculpted material. So this is actually going to be cloth that you can actually I think it has some type of wire in it so that you can push it back a little bit to give a little bit of like a wind effect, make it really posable. So it's almost like it's not like 100% a statue, because you can like kind of like mess around a little bit with how you want to make it look, which is definitely something that's drawing me in. This statue is massive though. I don't know, I'm not too familiar with statues. I know that 1/3 scale is quite large, but at 70 centimeters, this thing is obviously not going to fit in a standard IKEA D12, but this thing is massive. The hands, just look at like the detail in the hands with like the veins and whatnot. Like, wow. And you can like display him with like the items that he comes with, like laying on the stairs, which is something I'd probably do. I don't really like this pose as much. The colors of the suit are just nailed to a T. You obviously get like the real buttons. It's $1,300, but like this is a really nice piece. This is like art. Like, I just can't believe the head sculpt. How do they do that? It literally just looks like him. It just looks real. Oh my gosh, so good. And the paint is like a little bit messy, like his makeup, like how you would expect like Joker to do his makeup. Obviously you get like his little bag, his shoes, real buttons, amazing, and then bang, right there. That's the $1,300 shot. This is the shot when I was like, okay, this might be it for me. I might have to pick up this figure. I might have to drop, you know, 13 bands and just, I mean, just take time to appreciate it. I know that like a lot of people are probably, you know, a lot of people who like don't collect statues and like are strictly like 1/6 scale Hot Toys. They're probably going to pass on this figure, but it's just hard to ignore something like this artistic and this well done. I was watching a lot of reviews of this, and like a lot of people are saying like, this is like Prime One Studios, this is Blitzway, this is like their best piece that they've ever done. While I'm not too familiar with a lot of the other pieces, and I am familiar with some of them, like just comparing versus some of the other ones of them, which they've done some fantastic pieces in the past, this is just bar none. And they got like the license to actually do this. Like this isn't like a, you know, third party thing like Warner Brothers. Like, you know, they got everything they needed to. They laid down the big bucks to you know, to get this figure done. It's massive though. It's really, really big. I really wish it was 1/6 scale. I would have loved to see it 1/6 scale for like 700 or 600. I would have been, you know, more happy with. But just given how big the scale is, not only will it not fit in a standard detail, but like you also have to try and find some way to display this, to really get like your money's worth and really highlight how great the figure is. I've been like trying to like formulate some ideas. Let me know in the comment section if you guys are picking this up and how you guys plan to display this. But I guess given that it is a statue, I wouldn't mind too much leaving it out in the elements as opposed to putting it behind glass. But at the same time, the fabric is cloth on the statue, so like I don't want like smell getting attached to that cloth. So I was thinking maybe some type of like wood stand with like almost like if you could picture like a fish tank, like flip it over and then like a glass cube and then put him inside of that. But it's gonna be like one massive piece, and something I'm gonna have to consider. It's gonna take up a lot of space. I don't know. I might just have to do it. I wish it came with these curtains in the background. I wish that you could like maybe pay extra or something to have like that display behind him, like when he's on the Murray show. God, that face. So good. It actually doesn't look as good right here. It looks a little granular right here. That looks better. Hands look fantastic. It's so creepy, his hands. Great shot again. Okay, look how massive. That should give you an idea of how massive this figure is going to be. That notebook fits. That notebook. Think about that notebook in scale relative to how big that figure is, and that notebook fits in this guy's hand. Like this is going to be a massive figure. Love how you compose this. This is huge. Another huge reason why it's pushing me to get this figure. Love the card thing. Kindly return this card. You get the gun. You get the pictures. Yeah, man, and that's you know, and that's just like going through all the photos, like. So like I'm still on the fence just because I'm not into statues. I'm not sure how it's going to fit in my collection, but I just like I think that this is probably like I don't think Hot Toys is going to make a Joker, and I've seen like a lot of the third-party ones that come out. Obviously, you have like the Toy Era one, and you have like the M Toys Joker for the 1/6 scale. But like the head sculpt on both of those just doesn't do it for me. It's just not good enough. Like. I need Hot Toys to do it because like I really want to pick up both of them, but like they're like $170 for like a subpar head sculpt. I would much rather pay $300 for a like totally on target Hot Toys level head sculpt. And like with both of those Toy Era and the M Toys 1/6 scale figures, they have their issues too. Like the tailoring like isn't great on one of them, and like the head sculpt isn't as good on the other one, and like you can kind of put them together, but still I still think the head sculpt like isn't good enough. And then when you see something like this, like obviously the head sculpt on this is going to be way better than any 1/6 scale figure because obviously it's a much bigger canvas, so they can, you know, put a lot more detail. But if someone can do this on a 1/6 scale figure, like if someone can do this on a 1/3 scale statue, like you should be able to get something a little bit better on a 1/6 scale figure. And I know Hot Toys could definitely do it if they would just, you know, make this figure, but it looks like they're not going to. So knowing that, like, I don't know. I'm on the fence. I'm leaning towards it. I'm heavily considering it. The price tag is a lot, but basically one of the big things that I'm trying to do right now and aiding my decision is I'm trying to get more like historical evidence on how some of these statues have done in the past, because truth be told, I'm not like too experienced with statues, so I don't have like that great of an understanding. And so like if I'm going to lay down $1,300, I don't really care about the figure, like the statue like going up in price or anything. That's not why I'm buying it. I just want to make sure that I'm not going to get burned on this statue, and it's going to be, you know, like an $800 statue like in the future. I just need to do more research and maybe talk to a couple of people and see how like these statues generally tend to do in the secondary market, because I don't want to, you know, throw down basically like almost $1,400 including shipping and tax on a statue, you know, that's just going to lose value, and then like I'm going to be stuck with something that, like, while I very much like and probably will never sell, it's nice to at least, you know that, you know, you're not going to lose money on it if you ever change your mind and decide you don't have room for it, or whatever the case may be, that you would ever need to get rid of it. I don't really see, you know, very, very ignorant like ideology. I don't think that this statue is going to go down in value, but I just don't. I just, when I make my decisions, I like to have some type of statistical evidence to try and back up my idea. But I just imagine like this is a statue that, like, you know, they're going to do once. You know, like all of these runs are like relatively limited. And they're just not going to do it again. This is such an iconic movie that's totally timeless and definitely just going to go down as one of the best. It's just such a great drama. Never mind superhero movie or anything. It's just an excellent drama. And this film is going to hold the test of time. And so like Joaquin Phoenix won, you know, Best Actor at the Oscars. Like, it's going to hold the test of time. I imagine this is a statue that lots of people are going to demand, whether they're even a collector of toys or statues or in general. This is going to cater to such a broad audience of any like film fan. So I think that's like supporting it, and that's helping me, you know, push me over the edge. I wouldn't be surprised if I end up picking up this figure. I'm going to have to move some finances around, maybe sell a hot toy or two, you know, take some profits on some stuff to, you know, invest into this one. But if you're on the fence like me, these are the two things that I'm thinking about in trying to make my decision. One, I just need to try and do some more research and make some type of prediction on how I think this figure is going to do in the secondary market before I lay down this much cash. And two, I need to find some creative way to display this figure that will minimize the amount of room and maximize like the display and how great it looks. And so I'm still looking to do that. And if I can, you know, solve for those two variables, I think that I'm probably going to pick up this figure. But let me know in the comment section. This one I really want to hear from all the statue fans out there and the statue collectors. Like, how do statues generally do in the secondary market? And like, how do you guys think this one is going to do? And more importantly, do you think that this is like a total knockout 10 out of 10 like I do for statue standards? Or do you think that maybe they missed the mark on something and there's something that I'm missing? But this just looks like a 10 out of 10 to me, like absolutely fantastic. But that's going to wrap it up for today's video. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you're enjoying these videos. You know, love putting them out. The channel is growing a lot, so I very much appreciate it. But other than that, we'll just kick it around to the next video. Thank you for tuning in. This is 6 Scale Economist, and we'll see you in the next video.